I've worked in public health for 25 years, and as much as we talked about the risk of a pandemic, I never imagined that we, the U.S., would be in the situation we are. I thought naively that a common enemy, a pandemic, would unite us to work together towards a common resolution. But instead, I've been dismayed this year at how it's divided our society and our country in ways that are disheartening and saddening. Part of that certainly is that people have lost trust in organizations that they used to count on to give them valid information, and that is both public health institutions, but also the medical institution. When I was a child and I went to my doctor's office to get my vaccines, it never would have occurred to my parents to ask questions of the nice white-haired doctor who told me what vaccines I was getting that day. Now parents are encouraged to do their own research, and I think that's great in one way. But on the other hand, there is so much information available out there, and it's a cacophony for a parent to try to sort through information to come up with what's reality. And I think that puts parents in a really difficult situation, and it puts our society in a really difficult situation. What source of information do you trust? And if you don't trust your own healthcare provider, and you don't trust the Surgeon General and the Health Department and the CDC, then frankly it's easy to find information that is really unreliable, uncurated, and just wrong. Trust wasn't broken overnight, and it's not going to be restored overnight. But part of it is accepting that our society has changed and that we can't just keep hammering people, you need to trust, you have to rebuild the trust. And I think we have to teach people to live in a society that is different, where parenting is different, where social relationships are different, and where our interaction with data is different. Maybe an anecdote. When you ask a scientist about research, what scientists mean is a well-controlled, scientifically valid research study where you have clear endpoints and a clear methodology, and you believe the outcomes because it's reviewed by other scientists to make sure that it's valid. But the word research is used by the public to mean something different. It's used by the public to mean they Google something and they find information. We have to not fight against it. We're fighting upstream. We have to accept that that's how the public thinks about information. And instead, we need to teach the public how to look at that information differently and how to separate out information that's more valid from more valid sources. We're not going to be able to shut off the flow of information that's out there. Instead, we really need to teach people how to navigate through it. As we proceed through this pandemic, we're going to have to find a way to rebuild trust in those organizations, and also to try to repair the fractures that we've seen in our society. I think we're going to have to forgive each other for past mistakes and find a way to move on together.